Hello and welcome to The Dirt and the Divine. I'm Krisha Young, your podcast host and an advocate for living a fully aligned and unapologetic life. This podcast is rooted in the belief that every beautiful life grows from both the messy and the magnificent. And here we share real and raw stories of people who faced life's hardest moments, took radical responsibility, and chose joy and alignment over avoidance. My hope is that you hear these conversations and think, well, if they made it through and found happiness, so can I. This space is about honoring both the dirt and the divine because together they shape a life worth living. Please note that this podcast is for general discussion only and is not a substitute for therapy, legal, or professional advice. Now let's dive in. So today I am super excited to interview Vancouver-based duo Average Citizens. They're known for their wobbly bass lines, infectious energy, and high impact performances. Blending hip hop, bass house, and UKG, they've played shows across Canada, the US, and internationally with appearances at Miami Business Week, Shambhala, which is where they are right now, Faded in the Park, and Foundation Series. Their chart-topping releases on Wildcard, 3000 Bass, In Stereo, Jungle Cakes, and Yosh have earned them support from David Guetta, DJ Q, AC Slater, yes, Don Diablo, Richie Houghton, and Dr. Fresh, with spins on Diplo's Revolution and Kiss FM Bristol. That's amazing. With a global fan base growing fast, Average Citizens are quickly becoming a force in underground dance music. I love you guys. I am such a fan. Like, I'm a huge fangirl over here. And saw you guys on Saturday. It was a lot of fun. You guys were at Celebrities here in Vancouver, and I always just love when you guys are here in town and I get to see you perform because it's always such like there's always such high energy and just like I never stop dancing, and I love that about you too. And I love that I've been getting to know you guys socially, personally, a little bit behind the scenes too. We've had some fun interactions lately, and I'm grateful for your friendship and for you guys being here. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah. And I love your intro. Like, it was cool for you to hear what you had to say about us too. That was nice. But your intro to the podcast, I really appreciate that that ethos of like coming, you never know where anyone came from, and you don't know like what they've been through and how much that can shape and mold where you go. And that's I really appreciate that. So yeah, thanks for having us. We're stoked to be here.
Stoked to be here. Yeah. Like the lotus.
Yeah.
Got to come out of that mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. And part of the reason why I wanted to interview you guys is because I've kind of been watching you, like how you do business and how, the relationships that you've developed with the people from what I've seen so far, and your relationship. And I've just been so curious, like, how did this happen? How did you guys like make this happen? And what's your little like stories that kind of brought it together? And what is your version of the dirt and the divine that got you to where you are today?
Ooh, big question.
What a big question.
Well, we originally met at Coachella back in 2012.
Yeah.
And we were both like from Vancouver and kind of running in the same circles. So it's interesting that we met at Coachella during the Tupac hologram and not like in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And we just had like a really strong, like ethereal connection right away. I always describe it as a kinetic draw beyond rational comprehension. Like we both just, it's almost like it felt like we knew each other in a past life, or like that we knew that we had like some sort of like purpose to give. Actually, we were meditating this morning, and the meditation said, it was like, there's the two moments that are the most important in your life: when you're born, the day you're born, and the day you decide why, or you figure out why. You find out why. And I was like, oh, I said to him, I'm like, oh, it's so cool. I feel like we're figuring that out. And I think that we were meant to be together, to make music together, and to share those elevated emotions with people together. Like, I truly believe that we were meant to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we met and had this like kinetic draw, and it took several years for us to actually start like dating. But Josh was already a DJ at the time, and I was really interested in it, but was doing my master's degree in sports psychology and kind of thought like, oh, I want to DJ, but next life.
I said, no, gotta be this.
He's like, it's got to be this life, and I'm going to teach you everything. And
Yeah.
so he started teaching me, and I caught on right away. And we just had like this really cool chemistry and an alignment of the kind of music that we wanted to play. And then yeah, it feels like that was yesterday, but it also feels like that was like
Lifetime
a
ago,
lifetime ago, which is so crazy. Like someone the other day said, like, oh, it's so cool how you guys have built up your career so quickly. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily true, you know, like it's just always unfolding
Mhm.
and evolving. But I think recently we've really been putting everything into it. So it
Mhm.
wasn't until like a few months ago that we're actually doing music full time now. And it
Mhm.
even feels weird to say that.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to do it for so long.
But I've been working on it for 10 years together,
Yeah.
and even longer, me without her. So
Yeah.
to finally say it's full time, yeah, it's so new that it is kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels great.
Mhm.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's so awesome. I
Mhm.
mean, I guess I just assumed that you were always doing it full time. You know, because you guys just live and breathe your entire brand. And like as an entrepreneur, I want to loop back on this kinetic draw thing in a minute, but I and thank you for sharing that story. That's so amazing. um but like you know, as a business owner, like there's a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to this podcast, right? And I'm always finding it very fascinating, like the people's progression and growth in business. And I would consider you guys entrepreneurs, like you're business owners. This is the business of the average citizens, right? And so it's interesting how like it's had this transition now into something that is full time,
Mhm.
which is amazing. So how is that changing things for you guys then?
Well, it was interesting how it all happened because both of us have been wanting to do music full time forever.
Mhm.
And we
Have been in our minds.
like we spend like if
Yeah.
not, we always say like if we're not listening to music, we're making it. If we're not making it, we're DJing it. If we're not DJing it, we're talking about it. If we're not talking about it, we're dreaming about it. Like we're always, like you said, we always like live it. So it has felt full time in a sense because whatever else we're doing, like that was like next in line, like right away, always. But we always had dreamt of like, okay, one day when we can do music full time, we can just wake up and like plan our day and DJ and produce and do all of the things. And the way that it happened was so unexpected. And it was literally like a tornado came through our lives and a whole bunch of shit got like really disrupted and like losing other jobs. And like from an outsider's perspective, people were probably like, uh-oh, like these two are going down, like what's happening? But I feel like Josh and I were like holding hands and looking each other in the eyes in the middle of a tornado and just being like, we got this. Like, it's going to be fine. We believe that everything always works out for us because it does, because we have really strong intentions and a very strong vision and we work really hard. But we just like kept the belief strong. And then when all the dust settled, it popped us into an opportunity where we were able to do this full time. And we both are like dumbfounded by it. Like, oh, it happened like so quickly.
Mhm.
But it was, I think that it's like a almost like a divine trust in the universe, you know, like you never know how it's going to happen and you can't predict how it's going to happen. But I think if you have foster the belief and the desire simultaneously and you know, practice the emotional cadence of what that feels like, it tends to come. And we keep practicing this and it keeps showing up for us. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if that made sense, but
Of course it makes sense. Makes complete sense.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. And because that's well, it makes sense to me because that's how it is. Like, so it's true. Like you have what I love about what you said, you were talking about like intentions.
Mhm.
And that's something that I agree with wholeheartedly and am like taking way more of an active practice in my own life too, and kind of spreading that message a little bit more now as well, as like we need to have an intention behind this. There needs to be an intention because it does focus that energy, right? And then having that vision of where it is that you want to go. But then you mentioned like that trust in the universe, the emotional
You froze.
buy-in for it, right? And are you guys frozen?
Why did you do that?
Oh no,
Oh,
you're good. You're good.
you
You're
are.
back.
You were
We broke the
saying-
internet.
Yes.
You're in the middle of it though. You're saying you need to have an intention behind it to channel the energy.
You need to have
The
that
focus.
intention, right? And the focus, right? To channel the energy. But then you need to have that blind trust
Mhm.
in however it ends up happening. Like it sounds like there was some tower moments, like some collapse that needed to happen, right? Which, like, depending on your emotional state and your mindset, could be like, oh my God, it's the worst ever. Or like, I love what you said, like holding hands in the middle of the tornado and just like, okay, we have faith. This is what we've been asking for. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about manifestation or going after your goals. And especially when you're doing something that is so like out there, like pursuing a dream like this, it's like you really do have to be prepared for anything and everything to kind of collapse in order for this to happen. And when something like this happens, it's like it's going to come in a way that is really unexpected, possibly, but it's going to be what you felt it was going to be all along. At least that's been my experience. Like it hasn't been like my days now, I'm just like, holy shit, like this is what I imagined and manifested like so long ago. Like I literally wake up every day and I'm like, this is my life. Like this is crazy. It's beautiful. And yet it looks nothing like I thought it was going to look, but it feels very juicy.
Yes.
I love all about that feeling for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, we're really, really grateful. And I think that is another piece is gratitude and like tapping into that sort of abundance mindset, because I think as humans, we have this tendency to slip into a poverty mindset where we think about all the things that we don't have and the things that we want and the things that we aren't and comparing to others. And I think when we slip into that sort of frequency, we invite more of that into our lives. And so flipping the switch on that, and even in like, the eye of the tornado, we were like still practicing gratitude and recognizing all the abundance that is around us and the opportunity that is around us. And I think when you slip into that kind of mindset, it becomes really easy to stay grounded because we have so much to be grateful for. Like truly, like look at where we are right now. Like we're in this, I don't know if you can see this insane yard that we're in, but there's like willow trees and beautiful river. And like just to be like sitting here with you right now is something to be so grateful for in and of itself. And I think that mindset can be so expanded. One of our good friends, Jay Demerit, who is a professional soccer player for most of his life, like he does this TED talk, and it's about like, what if it was your sunny day? Instead of like doing a mental rehearsal of like what could go wrong, like what if all of a sudden the stars aligned for you and everything you're asking for would come to you? Like, would you be ready for that? And you should practice that, a mental exercise to run it through. Like, what if all of a sudden like our dream agent and dream record label and all came together and handed us a huge opportunity? Like, you have to be ready to capitalize on those opportunities. And I think practicing that sort of mental rehearsal is really important.
I feel like if it won't happen.
Yeah.
Say that again, Josh.
I'm just saying, I feel like if you don't visualize that, it's not going to happen. Like you have to believe it. You have to trust it. It's easy to be grateful for this right here, but when it stings and you can still be grateful and be like, okay, this is part of it. I trust this happening. Something's here, that's when it, is going to really, the momentum will jump forward for you.
I agree. Yeah. Yes. I'm picking up everything that you guys are putting down. This is so awesome. I love these conversations. Yeah. And gratitude is definitely, yeah, it's the elixir, it's the glue that holds all of this together in a way. I mean, it's not to say like I'm a big, like, you don't bypass, right? Like shit happens and you can have like a really bad day and there can be really awful things that happen, right? Like, or opportunities that just don't pan out, or something that comes in and then goes back out as fast as it came in or whatever. And there's, we're allowed to be disappointed. We're allowed to be upset. We're allowed to have like a bad day or something like that. But the key is to not stay there.
Yeah.
Right. The key is to be like, okay, well, that was shitty. Like, you know, holding on in the eye of the storm, right? Okay, well, that was shitty, but wait, maybe there's a reason for this or whatever, right? Like getting back on that emotional track. Dani, I love that you said that, because like not a lot of people talk about the emotional state of being that you need to be in order to be able to handle success. And a lot of people can't. It's like, you know, the lottery winners, right? You win the lottery and then you spend it all because your nervous system can't handle it, right? It's no different if you guys all of a sudden tomorrow became like world famous, right? Like, can your nervous systems handle it, right? Can you guys handle that? And I think that you can, based on what we're talking about here today, because you've got some really solid like tools and practices that you're doing, it sounds like, on a daily basis. And I've been with you guys socially too, where there's, okay, we're going to set this intention, and you know, like there's a lot of gratitude, like you guys ooze and really do practice what you're saying. I've witnessed it firsthand, and I think that that is really what keeps people grounded in an otherwise like kind of crazy
Yeah. Well, I think if we don't learn how to like find a peaceful place to retreat from within, it's never going to happen, because there's so many uncontrollable variables around us. And that's how most people live, is just like letting the universe like pull you back and forth. Because like you said, adversity is like, you're not getting out of this realm without facing adversity. But I think if we approach it mentally as a learner, then it doesn't matter. Like, you know that you're going to be fine. And if anyone looks back on their life at any large adversity or challenge they had, like there's always going to be some sort of lesson, learning, some new opportunity that comes through it if you're open to it. So I like to say that like approaching it as a learner is so incredibly important. And then when you do have a bad day or something like terrible happens around you, like, you know, people are going to die, and you know, challenges are going to come your way, but I think of it as sifting. Like, you're always like sifting through the universe, and like anytime you find something you don't like, it makes what you do like and want more clear. So that's like a purpose in and of itself. Another good way to look at it, you know, okay, now I'm learning, I'm sharpening my vision more of what I do want in my life. So, and I like what you said, Krisha, about not stewing on things either. Like, the ability to be present, I would say, also is like so important. Like,
so big,
whenever you are present, engaged, and connected, that's when the it factor shows up. But as humans, we have a tendency to get caught up in the past or fret about the future and have a hard time like settling into the present moment. And that's like where the best music is. That's like where the deepest conversations are. That's where like the most like loving moments exist, is when we're fully engaged and connected. But we live in a world that is just dragging us forward so quickly, and there's so much distraction and extraneous variables, and the proliferation of social media is like really hectic to manage mentally. So strategies to always like keep coming back to the present moment, I think, are really important for everyone and anyone, and for business too, because there's going to be challenges that come your way, and if you're, you know, caught up on the mistakes you made before or the mistakes you might make in the future, you just become paralyzed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well put. Like, you're so articulate in this realm. And I loved your like sifting. Like I saw, like, you know, when you're mining for gold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lesson. There's always a lesson if you're willing to accept it, even if you hate it so much. But to learn just to be like, okay, this sucks, but what can I get out of this? There's always something there. I feel like the more you resist that stuff, then again, like you said, you're just going to get it again and again and again until you get the lesson. You know?
Oh yeah, you're gonna get throat punched for sure. Exactly. Exactly. So how do you guys then you know, keep it real and grounded? So you talked about meditation, we talked about like intentions and visualizing and stuff like that, but like a lot of this is nervous system. You guys are talking about nervous system. Like, if we're looking at it more of a clinical perspective, it is you know, and this is a lot of the work that I teach people, is this nervous system regulation, right? Like balancing your nervous system so that you can handle, I call it calm in the chaos, right? So you can handle whatever it is that's going on like a boss, you know, you're just like, wow, bullet, bang, gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of like dancing, right? Like,
Yeah.
So what are some of your practices that you guys do to stay grounded like on a daily basis? You mentioned meditating. And then like how do you guys like keep it together as a couple?
Yeah, I mean, meditating is just part of it. I mean, our mornings sleep is probably the number one thing. We make sure we get enough sleep every night. And then, yeah, it starts in the morning, meditate. We do yoga. We work out about 6 days a week. And then throughout the day, we'll go on bike rides. We go on walks. We make sure we have a very healthy diet 90% of the week, I
We
guess.
do a lot of things. Like we have like he was saying, we have a super solid morning routine that takes
Yeah.
us about just under 2 hours that we're really
and we don't
really
mess with
strict
it.
with. Like
Yeah.
as soon as we wake up, we do yoga, then we
Yeah.
meditate, then
Yeah.
we work out,
Yeah.
then we have like breakfast, coffee, and then we have a whiteboard in our house, and we sit there and we write out like all our goals for the week, and then we like time block our day for the tasks that we're going to get done. And then like we read, and yeah, we stay super active, and we're just like always we like thrive on having these kinds of conversations too, and we're always conversing about, you know, how we can be better and how we can manage ourselves better, and emotional regulation and stress regulation. And so I think those are some of the practices. We also do a lot of like positive self affirmations. Like we just created a new list of them that we have on our whiteboard, and we stand there and we say them every day before we like start our work, and we
go back and forth, say it together. It's very loving thing to do together, you know. It's cool to do with someone else.
It kind of like, I know for some people it feels like cheesy or woo woo, but like when you say something and it gets you excited, and it's really fucking powerful. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, we're gonna read our affirmations, and then by the end of it I'm like, all right, let's go, like let's start our day today,
because it takes you back to that feeling you guys are talking about. It's like if you feel it and it makes you feel good, then that's bringing you closer to what you want. You know, it's all about that feeling. And we make sure that we take time for each other, and we spend a lot of time together on, you know, bike rides and walks and talking, and just making sure that we're happy, because, you know, it's different always being with someone and working with them. So you have to be like conscious.
Sometimes I'm like, we need to have our space too.
Yeah. But we talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to have that be out in the open to keep it healthy, and we're great at it. So.
And then another thing that we've really gotten into in the past like 4 or 5 years is subconscious work as well. So there's a time like right before you go to bed and right before you wake up where your brain waves start to slow down, and so you have like a direct access to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, psychologists say, is actually in charge of like 95 to 99% of your waking day actions. And it's very much influenced by the conscious mind, of course, but right before you go to bed is when your like brain waves slow down and your subconscious mind becomes very, very impressionable. And so those moments are really important to put something positive or some sort of affirmation in your mind, because right before we go to bed, most people think about, you know, all the shit that went wrong, or all the things they have to do, the worries and woes. And
don't do that.
Your subconscious mind like goes to work at night, and your last waking representation of yourself is going to be the most like strong color, like lens of how your subconscious mind is going to go to work that night. So those moments are really important too, like right before you go to bed, right before you wake up, or if you're in a meditative state, to like really ground yourself in thinking about, you know, what you want or how you want to feel, or just gratitude.
And you get so careful about the things you think about after a while practicing this. Like, and when you're like, okay, 95%, like that's you're like, you got to figure this out. Like that's, if you don't, it's like, and then you start catching yourself so much, like thinking a certain way. What are you saying to yourself? What are you thinking about? And you really start changing it. And you know, it takes time, but you
and what you
really see
speak
changes.
too.
Yeah, of course, what you speak, but we think a lot of shit that we don't want. And you stop thinking about stuff you don't want and focusing on what do I really want. It's a big one for sure.
And we'll catch each other too. Like, even if it's like something as simple as like, oh, I have to go do this interview today. It's like, no, you get to go do the interview today.
We get to
so
do
we like
this.
catch each other in these little moments. But it is really like whatever we're like thinking about, we truly become like. I think it's that simple.
Yeah. And not even saying I have to do it in like a bad way, but saying you get to do something, like the way you say it is different than I have to. You know, it's like you're telling your subconscious, like, I love this. I want this. Like, I get to do this. It's different than being like, I have to go do this.
Yeah.
You know, like little things like that and add up a lot. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, yes. I'm noticing that the more connected I am to myself, and the more clean, like I call it like being cleaner in your energy, right? Like the cleaner I am, the more like literal the universe is. Like it's quite insane, you know, like watching it happen. So like I am so careful about what I say, how I say it. The thinking part is a little more challenging because we do have these neural pathways that just like kind of swirl around, right? And so it's just a matter of like, as soon as you catch yourself, it's like, okay, wait, no, we don't go there, and then shifting it. And so having all of these practices that you talked about really helps like clean that up in a big way. But yeah, I've definitely noticed that like if I say, I don't know, cow, then there's a cow. It's like, holy moly.
Holy cow.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
So mind-boggling. Yeah.
It really is. I love this conversation. This is not where I thought we were going to go today.
Yeah. And it's still like, even once you know it, you're still always like, this is awesome. You're still shocked by it. It's just, it just keeps proving itself to you. But then you get more trustful too. You're like, okay, like fucking take me.
Yeah.
You know, it's awesome. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where faith comes in. And you're just like, all right, cool. And that's where, to loop back, if something does go sideways, you're just like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm chill in that, right? Like
sideways now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something here for us.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is, but we're game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I love this conversation. Okay, I'm mindful of our time together, and I don't want you guys to be late for your next thing. But I have your track. Can I play it?
Sure. Which one do you have?
May I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trigger finger.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Not for long, just for a couple seconds here, you know, so, you know, because we're on a podcast or whatever. But well, tell us a little bit about this track.
So this is it's a Donna Summer flip, but it's a remix of a Donna Summer song, which is kind of confusing. But DJ Dan, who is a legend out of LA, he owns In Stereo Records. So him and Mike Balance and Fleetwood Mac, they're all LA people. They created this Trigger Finger song, and then they asked us to remix it. So it just came out last Friday, with 2 other remixes by Lost at the Rave and Rover People. And yeah, it's just like, it's super fun. Like it's we wanted it to have this like fun, funky vibe to it. It's a little different than some of the stuff that we typically would play, but it's like super funky, and it's got these cool like not donkey like the animal, but like donk sounds in it. And actually we just woke up this morning and found out that it's charting number 3 in bass house releases on Beatport. And the reason we have to leave is because we're going back into Shambhala, and Freddie J is going to play it at the Fractal Forest opening set. Opening set today. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to play like just a couple of seconds of it. I've got it queued up at a certain point. And I have my recorder set to computer sound, so it should sound really, really good on the playback here. Let me just turn my thing down a little bit. Pause. It's so good. That's so fun. I love like the bong, bong, bong. Is that what you were talking about? Like the donk, donk, donk.
Yeah. The donks and the womps. We love a good
Donks and the womps. You know, I want one of the reasons why I wanted to interview some DJs, and I've interviewed a couple other like drum and bass DJs, is because like I just like the sound is just so awesome to me, and I'm just like, what's that bleep and blurp and blong and like what is all that?
That's actually one of our original influences is drum and bass, and we have one drum and bass track we made. But when I first started DJing back in the day, that's what I played, drum and bass. So
Yeah.
of our like earlier influences sound wise. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, well, do you guys have any like parting thoughts or words that you want to share, like about your music or your journey or anything at all, like using this platform to just say what you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think like in the thread of what we've been talking about, I would just like really encourage people to be super mindful about what you think about and about what you say, and try to make sure that you recognize that you literally become what you think about all day long. So trying to take care of that is really important. And the other thing is, I think like if we all try to notice and amplify the light in other people, what a beautiful world it would be, right? And that's like another mindset of switching to look, instead of looking for the negatives and being a creative warrior, it's like let's look for the light and amplify that. And if we all do that, like whew,
Yeah.
lots of sunshine.
Yeah, no doubt. Well said.
Yeah.
I guess I would add too, we talked a lot about the trust thing, which I've been really focusing on diving deeper into lately. And, you know, I would just say like that can be one of the scariest things because it's hard to flip that. It's not an overnight thing. But if you're feeling that and it's something you want and you are getting scared, like try to push that direction. Like just try to trust harder, and you just, you know, you'll be amazed what will happen. So yeah.
And Josh has been through, I feel like you should interview him a separate time about his life, because he's been through a crazy lots of like rock bottom experiences in his like adolescent life and young adult life. So if like coming from him, I think that's, you know, he's lived through it, and that like holding that trust is not easy, but
yeah,
built up.
be built up. Yeah, it's the calluses can be thickened as you trust, but you have to keep it going. It's like a momentum thing, right? But yeah, so I love the interview. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Good talk.
And also I would say we have like so much new music coming out.
Yeah, tons.
We have been like really, since we got this opportunity to create together all day, we've been really taking advantage of it. So we have so much new music coming out. So please follow us on Spotify,
Instagram,
SoundCloud, whatever.
Yeah.
And stay tuned, because we're fucking cooking.
Yeah, we're cooking. And we have another Vancouver show in 2 weeks, Somerville. So if you're around,
yeah,
nice,
like a daytime thing at the Waldorf. It's gonna be really fun.
August
16th, Pinion and Lobe,
Rhiannon Rose, Phantom Freak, and Chefs.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. Such a good lineup, outdoor and indoor. So it starts outside in the parking lot at Waldorf, and they're doing like a beach theme, beer garden, and everything. And then once I think we headline the outside. Yeah. It ends at 11:30, and then they go in the club after that. So it's gonna be fucking awesome.
It's gonna be fun. So if you're around, come.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate you taking the time out of like being at Shambhala and, you know, in this beautiful space to sit with me here and chat about, you know, like what we chatted about. I'm so grateful. I was very, very, very excited about today. So thank you. Both.
Likewise.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. For having us.
Yeah.
And I'll put all of your links in the show notes as well. So for anybody watching the replay or whatnot, they can just like click on that. And thank you to the dear listener and watcher of The Dirt and the Divine. I'm sure you've had had got a lot of insights from this magnificent duo here. And if you want to learn more about me and my work, you can follow me on Instagram at the Krisha Young. You can go and check out my website at krishayoung.com as well for links on how to work with me privately. All right, thank you guys. Go have some fun. Go dance. Go dance for me.
Thank you. Bye.